Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are delighted to welcome an inspiring personality who beautifully bridges the worlds of science and literature. Dr. Srilakshmi M. Adhyapak hails from Bangalore, India, and is a distinguished medical professional specializing in interventional cardiology. She serves as professor and head of the Department of Cardiology at St. John's Medical College Hospital, a place where her work impacts countless of lives each day. Yet, beyond that demanding profession, Dr. Srilakshmi has nurtured a deep love for poetry. Her poems celebrate the grandeur of nature, the flow of philosophy, and the timeless wisdom of mythology. From narrating the epic Ramayana in verse to her works A Magical Refraction and Other Poems, the Song Divine, a rendering of the Bhagavad Gita in poetry, and Kathopanishad in verse, she offers readers a rare harmony between modern sensibility and ancient spiritual insight. It is a privilege to have with us today a voice that unites healing both of the body and of the soul. Dear friends, let us warmly welcome Dr. Srilakshmi M. Adhyapak. Dr. Srilakshmi, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of Writers Capital Foundation and for featuring me in your program. Thank you.
We thank you as well. To begin, could you share with us how your journey in poetry began alongside the demanding life of a medical professional?
I started composing poetry when I was 12 years old. So whenever I used to feel a little lonely or a little bored, there's nobody to play with. So then I would just sit and look out at the sunset or at some, a bird or a flower. And automatically these verses used to come to me. And I used to love to compose it, write it out. Initially, I wrote it out and I thought it's a not much, it's not very nice. And then my teachers saw it and my class teachers in school, and they appreciated it. They asked me who wrote it. I said, I wrote it. Then they said, no, you have to write more. So that's how it started. Then, medical school, it is very, very hard. And we have long hours in India. It's like we have to do 36 hours duty continuously. So when we are on those 36-hour shifts in between serious patients, when you're just sitting for about 5-10 minutes or maybe half an hour, then something you see, something you out of the window, you see the sunrise, or because you're awake even at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., so you're able to see the sunrise even at 4 o'clock, 3:30, or you're seeing the sunset, or it's raining outside. So something like that, it sort of stimulates me, and I feel like writing a few words. And poetry is something which sort of regenerates your mind, and you feel so much fresher to do the next job which comes along. Like maybe it's a lumbar puncture, maybe it's something, writing a case sheet, doing something, but it gives you a you don't feel jaded because you've been awake for 36 hours. Maybe you've not had a meal also, but then these words sort of regenerate your mind. You just forget all that, and your mind is fresh to do the next work, next whatever is there on duty. That's how I felt.
Of course, and thank God for your teachers who inspired you to go further and reach further heights. It's good. And of course, inspiration can be drawn for a person like you from everywhere, from nature, your own work, from your own life. Amazing, amazing. And
Thank you.
we know that you specialize in interventional cardiology, a field deeply rooted in science and precision. Yet your poetry is drawn from nature, like you said so far, mythology, and philosophy. How do you balance these two very different worlds of science and spirituality?
As I told you, I know interventional cardiology is very, very, very specific. You have to be very perfect when you place a stent, or when you dilate a stent in a heart block in a coronary artery. So these things you need, science itself has proven this particular thing, that when you play music in the cath lab or in the operation theater, it sort of makes everybody calm, and they are better concentration they have better concentration, and motor abilities are also better. So there's a motor cortex in the brain, and there is a limbic system, thalamic system. So these are the limbic and the thalamic systems are stimulated when you think of something beautiful, when you look at nature, when you start describing nature. So when you start doing that, it sort of balances with the motor cortex and helps you concentrate better, and your work, your motor skills with your hands, everything gets better. So especially surgeons, they always play music in the OT, because you can't compose poetry at that time. When you listen to music, it sort of makes you so good, and your work gets better, the outcomes are better. Studies in so many journals have shown this.
This is perfect coming from you. And I'm sure that you have become a better professional too through literature as well, because it
Yes,
is a
yes,
part of you
definitely.
inside and wanted to be expressed as well. Wonderful. Your book, Ramayana and Other Poems, brings one of India's greatest epics into English verse. What was your creative process in retelling such a vast and sacred text into poetry?
This is the book, Ramayana
Mhm.
and Other Poems. Now, this book, Ramayana itself, is a poem in Sanskrit. So they are called shlokas, and it's a form of poem. So I thought, see, there are many translations of the Ramayana in English in verse. In prose. I'm sorry,
In
not
prose.
verse, in prose. So I thought, why not make it into verse and make it into an English verse, so that it's better, it's got a better reach. And of course, not many people read verse, but there could be some people out there, some poets, international poets, others who may like to read Ramayana in English verse. So that was one of the Ramayana has always inspired me. These spiritual texts, and especially this mythology of Ramayana, has always inspired me. It's like a universal love story, I would say, and it's got lot of adventure, uh, lot of plots, and lot of things. So I think it's a very, very nice story which inspires noble causes, and it inspires good nature in everybody, and it promotes these things. So I think that is the reason why I thought I could write it in verse in English.
Perfect, absolutely inspiring and profound. And thank you for doing that, because we also can read and understand and also feel the rhythm through also your verses that rhyme. Thank you so much for doing that. It's a really
Thank
great job, great work. And let's go to your series now, Divine Dialogues. You have rendered the Bhagavad Gita, I hope I'm saying it right, and the
Yes,
Kathopanishad
yes.
into verse. What inspired?
This is the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely wonderful. What inspired you to bring these profound spiritual texts into poetic
This
form?
is the other one. Yeah. Um,
And what do you hope readers take away from them?
the Bhagavad Gita is a universal epic, and it's been translated into several languages, and it's been read worldwide by both scholars and lay people. But then it's also only in prose. The English form is in prose only. So I was just thinking when I wrote the Ramayana in verse, why not bring the Bhagavad Gita into English verse? But then just it was a very daunting task. Just before starting it, I had lot of self doubts whether I'll be able to accomplish it. To like to do it, to have an ambition to do it is one thing, and the other thing is to actually manage to do it. But it's by God's grace that I managed to do it, and it's come out so beautifully by Writers Capital Foundation, and I'm very grateful to you for that. And the Kathopanishad also. The Kathopanishad is basically a dialogue of a young boy, Nachiket, with the Lord of Death. So it has a lot of profound questions like what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of me? What does it stand for? What is the meaning of life? What is death? What goes after death? What is beyond death? So these things also, I thought I would do it. Then I was really very much daunted before doing it, thinking whether I'll be able to accomplish it, but I was able to. So I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to Writers Capital Foundation for having brought out these two beautiful, lovely books.
We are also very proud of these publications, and our president, Preet Nambiar, also, who has, I'm sure, the a major part in those as well. And
Yes, yes.
I'm really very proud of what you have accomplished, because it was, as you said, a very difficult task. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? And you found the way within you, because the spark was there and it was perfectly done. Congratulations once again for this beautiful.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
many of your poems celebrate the essence of life and nature, as we've already said. In your view, what is it about poetry that makes it such a powerful medium to reflect on the beauty and meaning of existence?
Poetry has always been the medium right from the beginning. Keats, Shelley, they have used poems with so much so much passion, and you can see their passion coming out, their inspiration, what has inspired them. It's written so beautifully, so powerfully in their poems. Poetry, although read by maybe nowadays a few people only, but the reach is tremendous, because uh, if you read a poem, nobody, even a person who is not versed in poetry or not well versed in reading poems, they will not be without getting affected by it. It is a very powerful medium, and nature is something which inspires everybody, including artists, painters, sculptors, so many people, and also poets, and even people who write novels, or, in those days, the classic stories, although they are human centric, there's a lot of description of nature which goes on in few chapters. If you can read Emily Bront and Charlotte Bront and all, even Shakespeare, there's a lot of description of nature. Nature never eludes a creative person. Creativity starts by observing nature, by liking nature. And if you have it in you, you have the spark in you, you're able to paint it, or you're able to write about it. So I think that is, poetry has a very far reach even now, and it is inspired by nature. Nature finds itself in poems, paintings, so many things.
Absolutely true. So thank God for poets and artists because they make our lives better and our souls can be healed through their works. It's a beauty for the eye and for the soul that goes in. It is instilled inside. Now, dear Dr. Srilakshmi, as a medical professional, yet one who cherishes the spiritual essence of India, how do you perceive Ayurveda, another profound tradition that emerged from India's wisdom?
Ayurveda is Ayurveda is one of the it's a very good science, and most of it, this is my opinion, most of the true Ayurveda, what was there in the texts in Charaka Samhita and all those texts of the ancients, I think is most of it is lost now. They might have got destroyed, those texts, somewhere when there was plundering and looting of India by the invaders. Maybe it got burnt, maybe it got lost, because it is very sad to see that many of the Ayurvedic medicines nowadays are slightly, not very effective. Maybe it's because they do not have the original text, the original herbs. And one thing is for sure, that Ayurveda cannot treat an emergency, because when a patient has a heart attack or a stroke or a sudden emergency, some stab wound or something which has to be sutured, that needs an allopathic doctor. I don't think an Ayurvedic doctor will be proficient in treating an emergency.
I understand. Thank you for clarifying that and for giving your opinion on that too, on this matter. Your writing reflects deep contemplation. Do you see poetry as a form of healing, not unlike medicine, but for the heart and mind?
Heart and mind, when I think of it scientifically, it's different. Heart is an organ which pumps blood. The mind is where the heart, what the poetic form of heart is basically the mind. It's in the limbic system and in the thalamus and hypothalamus. But then poems have an ability to heal, especially when you read, when you it has a nature to heal, because it is rhythmic. And the rhythm, even if it doesn't rhyme, it has a rhythm, and that rhythm is akin to music, so it helps healing mentally, physically. So it's not just that you have to give medicines or you're doing a surgery. If music is there, it's not only helping the surgeon, it's also helping the patient recover. And afterwards, during recovery, he can listen to music, he can read poems. Some of those poems, when you go into it deep and reflect on it, you find that there's so much more which is inside, which is in very deep. And these things help you come out of your if there is some kind of illness, it helps you better. I mean, even physiotherapy, all that, they have said that once they play music and then they make them walk and they find it better. And another thing is that people who have stroke, and stroke is paralysis, one half of the body is paralyzed, and it's, if it has affected the speech center and they're not able to speak. So in Nimhans right now, that's a neuro center in Bangalore. It's recognized in whole of India. They have something like teaching those people with motor aphasia. That is, they understand, but they're not able to speak because that area is affected. So they sort of make them sing the words. I know of a patient. She's a patient and she's a family friend also. Initially, she just couldn't talk. She was mute, I should say. Then she started singing. She used to sing what she has to say. Like if she has to frame a question, she will sing that question. It may sound a little odd at times, but then after that she has now learned to remove the tune and to say the sentence. Now that girl, the child speaks so beautifully, you can't imagine that she had a stroke with which affected that area.
Absolutely
I'm
wonderful
amazed.
news. Yes,
I know.
yes, it is amazing to hear that. Probably this is also the secret behind the hymns of all religions that really heal. Yes, this is
Yes.
probably
Yes.
so. How wonderful. Of course, like we said before, you're associated with Writers Capital Foundation and Panorama International Festivals, which celebrate literature, arts, and culture globally. How has this association enriched your journey as a poet so far?
I had not heard about Writers Capital Foundation, to be frank with you, initially. The person who introduced me to Writers Capital Foundation is Mrs. Ambika Anand, who's a very good friend of mine and a very good well wisher. She's almost like a sister to me. So she's also a very great poet and she writes beautifully and she's a good translator also. So she mentioned that this place is there, and I sent the text of the Bhagavad Gita to her. She was amazed and she was in raptures about it. Then she said, "You should send it only to these people because they're so good at doing it." Then I sent it, and I was truly, truly impressed and truly grateful for what it has done to me. And I'm very happy with the book. And then, of course, my next book, the Kathopanishad, also uh, came out of Writers Capital Foundation. It's a wonderful place where real talent is recognized, and the production and the books, they are brought out so well. It's taken like your own personal book. It's not like these publishing houses where it's a very commercial thing. This is not a commercial, it is more of loving the book, loving poetry, loving the thing, and it's brought out so well. So I must say it's one of the best publishing houses, and thank you so much.
We thank you for saying all these beautiful words. Yes, of course, each book is a separate gem for us, actually. And thank Ambika for her recommendations, for your coming to us, so that now we have these beautiful gems, your books, in our publications. And also, we expect a lot more from you in the future as well. And um, speaking of the future, is there something you're working on now? And what may your readers expect and look forward to from you in the near future?
In the near future, I'm planning on expanding the divine dialogues by writing a few more, some of the key Upanishads. There are plenty of them. I cannot write all of them. So probably the key Upanishads, I would like to uh, render them into verse. So that is my future ongoing project. That will
Wonderful.
be our project.
Our project, yes, of course. I'm sure also President Nambiar is really looking forward to that as well, to give to the whole
Yeah.
world for everyone to
That
see
was
and
actually his
cherish.
idea. That was his idea.
It's good that you said that. I'm sure of that as well. Yes, it's his idea. He knows what you can do. He has faith in you, and so have all of us. And we're really looking forward to these beautiful works of yours from now and for the future. Dr. Srilakshmi, it has been truly an honor to work with you through the rich landscapes of your journey. From the precision of cardiology to the timeless cadence of poetry, your voice reminds us that science and art, reason and spirit, healing of the body and of the soul need not be separate paths, but can beautifully converge in one life's mission. On behalf of us all, we extend our heartfelt thanks for sharing your wisdom, vision, and the light of your work with us today. May your work continue to inspire humanity. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again for this beautiful journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Irene. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.